Thank you, Matt. Troy comes in on Saturday and played very well. They were able to get the free throw line 50 times to our 20. That hurt us a little bit, but they outplayed us for the majority of the game and were able to get a win. They did a good job. Bernardo has played well for them. I thought Jay Wright did a very good job on Person, but the rest of their guys stepped up. Holloman had a big game for him off the bench, and they hit some big shots. So give them credit. They're playing well. And then South Alabama came in last night, and they've been playing well too. They'd won their last two road games in conference. They won at Troy. They won at Monroe after being down by 10 and coming back and beating Monroe. Got off to a good start, except for defending Moopa Kelly. We were poor there and let him have a quick start, and that helped Lorenz Cup enter the game, and he made the most of his opportunity. He was very good, very active. I liked everything about his game except for the 9 field goal attempts. That's a little bit much, but being second behind Bryce, but he had 9 rebounds. I think scored 8 points, made his free throws, had a couple of really nice passes. And like Bryce and Justin, our inside guys can make the interior passes and get some easy baskets. So was proud of Lorenz for his effort. Proud of Jay Wright scoring 1,000 points. Certainly played hard, took a hard fall in the first half. And young man plays banged up all the time. He's a fierce competitor and a great Ragin' Cajun. He was able to guide us. He didn't really look for a shot last night. He was trying to get others involved. And Bryce certainly had a great game, 12 of 15. You know, on the homestand, I think Bryce was 4 for 5 and then 12 for 15. So 16 for 20 is a pretty good two-game field goal percentage. And he's continuing to rebound the ball, and he's fighting through some injury as well. P.J. Hardy and Cadavian Evans were 0 for 7 from 3 versus Troy. They're 4 for 7 last night. It's amazing when shots go in, when things get easier. But second half we shot 60%, held those guys to 34, and made a 9-point deficit at halftime. Gave us a little bit of breathing room in the second half, and we were able to close those guys out. Looking forward to going to Monroe this week. It'll be a tough task. They've lost a couple of home games in overtime, several games by 1 possession. They're right there, but they haven't been able to break through, and they certainly will be excited with us. It'll be one of their last home games, and we may not play again this year. So we know that we'll get their best effort. They've changed a little bit. They're starting the big guy inside now, and the guard Harris, I believe, that played against us has been hurt, and that's affected their rotation as well. But Coppola played 45 minutes, I noticed last night. I think he's certainly tired. He plays heavy minutes like Bryce and Jay, but he's a warrior, and we'll get a great game out of him. But should be interesting, should be a good game. It's a noon game, 2 o'clock, I guess, for us, noon for the women. As Matt said, games will be televised on ESPN3, and we're looking forward to it. It's a game we need to continue momentum. You guys talked last night about starting a streak, and you have to win one to start, so hopefully we can go play well. I like the way we played last night and shared the basketball, and most importantly, defended. That was the best we've defended in quite a while, and that's been the major issue with our team. Defensively, we haven't been as good. We moved up a full percentage point in field goal defense overall and in conference, and still not close to the 11th place team. So we've got to get better defensively. In the 3 games that we've held people under 40, we're 3-0. And I think the other, we're 0-5 in games where we've given up 50. So we've got to do a better job defensively.
How much easier is it to reel off a few in New Orleans mentally if you are, like you said, on a little bit of a streak going into it as opposed to struggling?
Well, after you going in off a win, into the conference tournament is always important. We've been able to do that the last couple of years and played well, but we've got a tough road trip coming up after Monroe. We've got to go to the Carolinas, and they swept the Georgia schools last night, and then we come home with 1 day's preparation and play Texas State and then Arlington. Arlington game could be for the championship for those guys. So we'll have a tough go, but as long as we're playing well, Tim, I think that's the main thing. And we feel good. You get a little momentum after we did last night. If we can build off this defense, because we know that's what it'll take. We're capable of making shots. People have made shots against us all year. Last night they didn't. We held those guys to 1 of 15 from 3. And that was very important. But other teams have shot the ball very well against us. We've got some good shooters in this league. So we know if we get on a momentum, shoot the ball well, defend better, that we'll have a chance to win the tournament.
You mentioned the trip to the Carolinas. How tough is that turnaround to have to make it from Conway to Boone and then come right back here after that? How draining is that?
And have one day to prepare. That'll be our off day. And then we've got Texas State on Thursday. The athletic director and myself fought this summer to keep those games Friday, Sunday like they were originally scheduled. And we tried to fight it and move the games, and the conference we had no success. So it puts us at a huge disadvantage. That's our hardest trip of the year. And we'll fly into Myrtle Beach, bus to Conway, which is half an hour, then we'll bus to Boone, which is about 6 hours. And then we'll bus to Charlotte Airport that night and leave the next morning to come back. And nice off day. Miss class. Yeah, and it is Mardi Gras. We'll even have trouble getting back to the gym to unload the bus because there'll be a lot of activity around here.
You mentioned Stocco. He had a good game rebounding. He altered a lot of shots defensively. How much can he help down low when he stays out of foul trouble?
Well, he's going to get another opportunity to do that. He altered shots. He changed shots. He was definitely a factor in the 34% that we gave up last night. And look forward to seeing how he does in practice, continuing. I know that if the matchups are in place, then he's going to get an opportunity to play. A lot of teams have gone small against us, and he's had trouble guarding the opposing center at times. This game coming up should be a good match because the big kid Alabascus is playing more and more for Monroe, and Lorenz should be able to match up with him.
Is that what held him back from getting more minutes earlier, just struggling a little bit?
Just
Defensively against smaller, quick guys?
right. We were trying to match up. It's more matchups to go against a smaller post player, and a lot of times we would play Jonathan Stove at the 4, as you've seen us do, and play with one post player, even it'd be Bryce. So when Arkansas State does it, Georgia Southern does it, it just makes it difficult for him to get out there. And I knew after the game, I didn't realize he'd played 24 minutes. I didn't know he had 12 in the first half. I guess he went 12 and 12. But I looked and counted back up, and that's more minutes than he's played in the last 7 games. He had 23 in the previous 7 games.
Murph said last week that y'all are everyone's biggest game right now, and is that kind of always true with ULM because of the in-state and just going there? Is that one of the more hostile environments you see?
Yeah, they have a good crowd for us. We've been playing up there on Thursday nights. We haven't been up there on a Saturday afternoon in a while, so maybe that'll help. But they seem to know our families well. They were very familiar with Sean Long's family when we were up there. And, but a good rivalry, and we'll get their best shot. And I think Mike's right. A lot of times we feel like we're the Yankees and or Golden State when we come to town. The crowds come out, the people get excited, they want to play against us, and it'll be the same way at Coastal. It'll be our first trip there in the league. We went over there and won the Maui on the mainland a couple of years ago. Sean was MVP of that tournament, but this will be the first conference game. They're playing well, they're in front of us, and then App State is always a tough place to play. I don't know how they're drawing right now, but that'll be interesting also.
But putting aside last night, what just Justin Miller, kind of his body of work this season, how much does it help you guys? What do you think drives him to do what he does?
Being from Kentucky, basketball is important to him. He's grown up in the Commonwealth and loves basketball, and from his high school to his prep school experience. And he's a very good offensive player. He knows how to score. He's crafty with the basketball. He's a good playmaker. Sometimes he gets in trouble trying to overpass. He's so confident in his passing. But he's been able to score for us and really help our team. And he's rebounded the ball better. He's actually played better defense in the last couple of weeks. We've been impressed with the way he's moved his feet and really tried. Our guys are trying hard defensively. Sometimes we come up short, but the guys are trying really hard, and Justin's one of those guys.
Bryce is, you said, playing through injury right now. Some other players, it probably affect their efficiency, but the last 2 games he's had really good games from the floor. He's still rebounding the ball well. Is that just a testament to his basketball IQ?
Yes, and his diligence to come in and get treatment. BJ told me yesterday that he's the only guy that comes in every morning. I mean, 6 days a week he's in there to get extra work on his legs and make sure. And you know, if you noticed last night in the game, South Alabama thought they could drive at him, and just like we do to people, we try to do it on Troy early in the game, and Bryce took one in there off the bounce and got caught. A Euro step, he got called for a travel. But we were trying to make them guard. They went at Bryce last night, early in the game a couple times, and then you saw him drive them at baseline and get a couple of dunks. That's been his signature move this season. I think he's had several one-handed dunks. He's got great hands. But his diligence in staying healthy is one of the main reasons that he's been able to be effective. And he's a winner. He wants to win. And last night, and we were talking in the second half in the huddle, and we talked about playing the Cajun way, and it doesn't matter the score, the time, or who's in the game. We're going to try to play a certain way, and we played good defensively. Let's stick to the game plan and finish it out, even if the last guys on the bench are in the game, which they were. And Bryce was encouraging everyone, let's continue to improve, let's get better. And that's the kind of leader that he is.
Jay Wright reaching that 1,000-point milestone. How proud of him are you for his whole body of work this game?
Really proud. I mean, the thing last night, he gives Ken Williams 3 for 14. And one of them was an offensive rebound. He made a tough basket in front of our bench in the first half, and he's 0 for 4 from 3. But Jay does a great job defensively. And he's gotten so much better this year, seeing the floor, making good passes, making good decisions. His assist-to-turnover ratio is really improved. He's shooting the ball better. He plays every day at practice. He gives you his best every day at practice and also every game. Now, he may struggle, may not play great every time, but he's going to give you a great effort. And I think that's a fine example of a great Ragin' Cajun. And to score 1,000 points in 3 years, pretty impressive, and we're certainly proud of that. Thank you.